Uh-oh.
Literally no.
Oh no, this guy.
Literally nobody asked. But if you were wondering what the counter to Junker Queen was, ding, 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 ding.
I can't take this guy serious. I can't take him serious, dude.
The reason everyone calls it healers, chat, is because everyone's been calling it healers since day one of Overwatch 1.
Incorrect.
Honestly, people that get upset at that, I don't think people are toxic when they call them healers. Every support in this role heals. You can call them support.
So is Roadhog a healer?
Go for it. People by default are gonna call them healers. People are gonna call tanks.
Right, of course. In common tongue, in common, just like, you know, along the lines, just talking about things. Sure, it's like, you know, like, bro, we got to get on their backline healers first. Nobody's gonna go, actually, they're called supports. Yeah, understandable. But like, when you're teaching people the game and you're talking about certain things, if you talk about a class of a character and say they're a healer, well, want to know what a great example of that doesn't fall into that is Ana. Ana is not a healer. Ana is a support. Her sleep dart can absolutely influence the flow of fights incredibly. Think about if your Ana sleeps a nanoblading Genji. You just saved the whole team. You saved a whole team by they just tried to build nanoblade for the last 2 minutes and they lost it because you're one cooldown hit. That is incredible impact. Nade. Ana Nade can have incredible influence over fights, and she got buffed so she does more damage now. Ana can 2-tap a Widow, pretty much. Like, it's so hard. It's so hard to sit there and go, well, they're just healers then. Yes, if you're in mid-game and you're talking like, you're just talking about like, you know, like, people aren't gonna be like, oh, actually it's a support, like in like just a random conversation. But like when you're talking about how things work and how things function, yes, there's a reason it's called support.
People are gonna call tanks. And people are gonna
tanks
call
are tanks.
Damage DPS. Just the way it is. Am I gonna expect people to call Maze something other than a damage dealer? No, probably.
It was, well, the reason we said DPS, fun fact, we called it DPS because there was offense heroes and defense heroes in Overwatch 1. There was 2 categories. Defense heroes were like your Torbjorn. Your offense heroes were your Cassidys. So to link them all together, we called them DPS. That's why people call them DPS. Because offense and defense being the same role was stupid. Like you just called it DPS. They were damage dealing characters. Support, though, was always support. And tank was always tank. So
that probably contributes to the reason that Maze, like, people are like, Maze with low. What are you doing? The reason everyone.
Welcome to Overwatch Overrated, Underrated, Part 2. Reaper. Slightly overrated. He's still a good pick, but he gets beat out by too many long-range hit scans, and this big boy still demolishes him. Soldier 76. Slightly underrated. I think he's a great pick at all ranks, deals great damage, and has a high ability to get tons of eliminations. Mercy. Underrated. By far the second best, if not the best support right now, and I don't think people understand the amount of versatility she has with her movement and damage boost. Welcome to Overwatch.
I don't think anyone, even in Season 2, was underrating Mercy. Listen, I've watched a few of their TikToks. I think we're getting to the point where we might have to revoke their cooking license. It's getting close.
Dude, I don't play Mercy at all, but I actually feel so bad for Mercy players. Through the entirety of Overwatch's lifespan, Overwatch 1 and 2, Mercy has been through more reworks than an indecisive teenage girl. Mercy's Guardian Angel did not nerf at all, and it's an essential part of Mercy. It's like,
so okay,
me as a Lucio player, if they were to somehow nerf Lucio's wall ride, you get the correlation. Like, it's such an
there is actually a nerf to Lucio's wall ride. It's all the new maps in Overwatch 2. For some reason, all the maps in Overwatch 2 are really poorly designed to wall ride on, and they're really funky, and they're not clean. It's really hard to wall ride on them.
Essential part of the character. The problem with Mercy was her damage boost. The damage boost is very unbalanced and unhealthy for the game. And instead of actually addressing that, they
wait. I thought they made a TikTok before that they said Mercy's not a problem. Wasn't there a TikTok before that they said that Mercy's not broken? Yo, bro, you can't be playing both sides of the fence. You can't do that.
They just nerfed her movement. Like, that her movement wasn't the problem. Like,
the movement was a little ridiculous, but changing GA was it feels bad. And honestly, I always say just talk to the Mercy players about it. Because like they say that part, it just, and if anything, in higher level play, actually Mercy's probably somewhat stronger than she was before, because Sojourn has not been getting picked, but Mercy's still getting picked, because her new healing is actually insane. I've actually been trying to kill people on Winston, like pull full primal them into the corner. I know how to do the combos, and I haven't been able to kill people. If a Mercy comes over and starts healing them, it's not possible. Can't do it. It just doesn't work. I don't do enough damage. Because of the new, she does more healing if they're under 50%. So if she pops Valk, she does 90 healing per second. If they're under half health, that's ridiculous. So I agree, though. I don't think that Mercy's actual problems were talked about, and they've just made her they made her less fun to play.
They're definitely gonna end up bringing her Guardian Angel to normal.
Depends on what you mean by normal, I think, but
You're pushing the bot wrong, and this is why. Unlike the payload, the bot isn't affected by how many people are pushing it at the same time. You can have 3 people pushing the bot at the same time, or you can only have 1 person pushing it, and either way it's going to be moving at the exact same speed. So feel free to push into the enemy spawn, just leave your Xenon cart, we'll have a good time.
this is like both correct and incorrect advice. Because yes, it is true. But I don't know if I'd leave my Zen alone. That seems kind of spooky.
Here are 3 top 100 strategies to hard carry your games as Winston. And if this video helps you out, then help me
I got one. Swap.
out. Controlling choke points. Choke points are the most dangerous places in Overwatch. So on defense as a tank, it's your job to contest them and keep enemies stuck in them as long as possible. Each time you do so is an opportunity for kills, but if you don't, then the enemy will just walk through for free. Also, corners have a very similar effect to choke points, so treat them the same. On offense though, your job is
Actually, so fun fact, I haven't really talked about this too much except on stream.
treat them the
There's a corner on this point, right behind where Winston is, like right on the corner, right before you cap. There's a certain corner that you can sit in there on Sigma, and you can still like tap point occasionally, and you are so f***ing hard to kill. It's insane.
same. On offense though, your job is the opposite, to make choke points less dangerous for your team. So when your team is ready, you can either dive the enemy's main damage dealer to relieve pressure, or dive their support so the enemy tank can't be healed and has to back up from the choke.
So Mercy
Just keep
turns
in mind
around.
that your team won't really be able to help you much during this, so don't go crazy hard. Soft and hard engages. Unless you're being nanoed or setting your teammates ult up, Winston should not be starting off fights with a hard dive. Instead, go for soft engages to lower the enemy's HP and cooldowns. Then when your team secures an advantage, you can dive hard to finish them, which will usually be about on your second bubble. Primal Rage timing. Primal
be
is
real
very
careful
powerful,
doing
so you
those
should always
soft
be looking
ones.
to charge it up as much as possible. But you can't use it too early or you'll get burned by stuns.
If you're doing soft, you need to be going much higher. You're going
Instead,
like
use it
way
towards the middle of the
too
fight when enemies have used important cooldowns
angled.
like Sleep Dart, or ults that counter it like Roadhog's ult or Mercy's.
is like it can be real scary because your cooldown doesn't come up fast enough. By going really high up, you give us like an extra second of hang time, and that extra second can get your jump back online to survive.
Being forced to mirror Sojourn got me feeling some kind of way.
Are you having fun now, Rumi? Are you having fun? And now there's another Sojourn just doing the same you're doing, bro? Are you having fun playing Sojourn, bro? Are you having fun now? There's just a Sojourn running it down your spawn? Huh? Are you having fun?
Being forced to mirror
I know, that's funny, dude. It's real though.
Fellas, genuine question. Why do I keep seeing people take Unranked so seriously? I don't know about
True.
you. I've always used Unranked just to try new heroes or just play the game and have fun.
True.
Recently, I keep getting in games with
Dude, people come into my chat all the time and talk to me for playing like Widow and in quick play, and I have a ball in my ass. I have a Genji. There's a Tracer teabagging me. Dude, I'm just trying to have a good time. Just trying to play some Widow. And dude, someone comes in and is like, swap, you're throwing. And it's like, dude, I'm playing quick play, dude. I do not care. That's the point of quick play. What am I supposed to sit in the training range and fight bots the entire time? What?
with people going like, actually, Widowmaker, stop trying to do 360 jump shots. You're wasting your hook ability for repositioning. Or people going, Diva, can you swap off? That hero only has a 24% compatibility with our current comp. I'm not in the Overwatch League finals. I could give a less of a I just want to know why these people think like we're in competitive or something.
Based, actually real and based take.
Everyone didn't really like push when it first came out, and then as it kept going on, it kept getting worse. And honestly, the reason why is it doesn't reward like the typical gameplay. Team play.
This is true, but we actually know why now since season 3 started. You are actually getting push 33% more often than other game modes in Overwatch 2. You are getting pushed 33% more often because it's one, not a fun game mode, because basically the way you win push is winning multiple fights in a row. Once you win a couple fights in a row, the enemy team now must win a few fights in a row to get it back, which is really difficult to do because you need multiple ult fights, and that's really not how Overwatch works. You typically have one big push on ult fights, sometimes 2 if you're lucky. So otherwise it's a little bit tough. But that combined with it getting jammed down your throat is, I think, the reason why everyone hated it.
Play and push is very, very difficult to execute. The problem is when people push up, the person on the payload always gets flanked because the way that the map geometry works could really show this on a better map. Let me do this. It's the reason that, like, in my opinion, all the push games.
Also, they're a training range talking enjoyer. I approve.
Game modes kind of suck. So the problem is, okay, as the team pushes up to like gain more ground for the bot to keep pushing, all these locations are able to be flanked on the person who's pushing the payload. The person pushing the payload here, as your team pushes up to gain space, is now the most vulnerable. From here, 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 here. If you actually want like a better chance, like you just have to sit on the payload. Like literally idiots playing the game. You have to play like an idiot on this point. Here, like, okay, let me just stand here while...
I disagree on that. I actually disagree pretty heavily on that. Yes, playing cart is on push is actually not that bad, but it's not really like that. It's really about momentum. It's momentum. So if you win like 3 fights in a row on push, you basically win the game. It's really hard to come back from that. So that's really the big problem. Nah. Don't be this guy. Hit X. Hit X, dude. I get it happens, dude. Sometimes it's funny. I sometimes play this up because it's funny. But, like, I'm not actually... If I do it, I'm not mad at the Ana. Like, sometimes she just doesn't see you. Like, she's doing something else. Why don't you hit X? Why are you shooting at your own Ana? It's useless. I hate these. Hang on, I gotta see the comments. What do the comments say? Maybe ask for heals, ping. Why are you shooting a Zarya bubble? Okay, that's just stupid. But yeah, this is not the post you think it is. This is actually like, this is basically, I'm an idiot. I thought I'd let everybody know that I am stupid.
You look away for 3 seconds.
Be careful, Shinaba.
What just happened?
You look away for 3 seconds.
Real. Actually real.
Are you constantly getting counterpicked and don't know how to handle it? Well, of course I know how to handle a counterpick. You just swap characters. Well, yes. If you're a coward. You can always swap and just let them know that they forced you off the character that you so wanted to play. Or, instead of swapping characters, you make it your #1 mission to completely destroy their mental. It doesn't matter if they beg you in chat to stop, because Overwatch, like many things, is a mental game. So once you crush their mental, it doesn't matter if they counterpick you.
I love that. That's awesome. It's not about winning. It's about sending a message.